Alright guys, so welcome back to my channel. So we'll continue from where we stopped. So here we are trying to couple the zip, the lining and the inner drop, which is the leather like I showed on the other the first video, the part 1. So now we want to get our lining, you put it, then your zip cloth should the front part of your zip cloth should face the front part of your leather, as you can see, right? But the zip cloth is going to be in between your lining and the leather, just like you've seen me do. So now, because I'm putting a zipper and I want it to be even, I want the zip to be even, I went on to measure 2 inch, as you can see, from this end here. So that is where my zip is going to be starting from, right? This is where my zip is going to be starting from. So I'll just sew freely on the leather and the lining up until I get to that 2 inch mark. Then I put in my zip, right? But remember, you have to split your zip into 2. So as you can see how I fix the zip, I fixed it facing out. I might not be able to explain this part so well, but just observe what I did. I fixed it facing up, then I just secured it a bit. Then I know, you see, I placed it straight and I continued sewing. Yeah, so I continued sewing all the way down. Now remember that I said I want our zip to be 11 inch wide, if you remember in our last video. So from that 2 inch, right, I would go on to measure 11. From 2, I will go on to measure 11. Do you understand? From the part I marked 2 inch, I'll go on to measure 11 inch. So that is where my zip is going to stop, and the remnant is going to be the one that I want to drop. Do you get? So as you can see, after sewing just a bit, I went on to measure to that 11, then I marked it, so that by the time I get to that place, I know that okay, this is where I'm supposed to stop sewing my zip cloth. Then the remaining part is going to be the one that will drop, where I'll put my zip stopper just to dangle. Yeah, I love my bags that way. So I'll sew all the way down, and when I get to that part, I would just double stitch and stop, like I'm doing. So now, just to be on the safe side, I go on to cut my thread. Then now I go to the other side of the material and I measure the same 2 inch. So from this part now, this is where my other zip cloth, remember we split our zip into 2, this is where my other zip cloth is going to be stopping. So from that same 2, I'll just measure the 11 at once, instead of sewing and stopping and measuring. So I'll just measure my 11 at once. So I just go run through it at once, you understand? So what I did on this side, I just replicate it on the other side. But you do want to make sure that by the time you're done and you fold over your lining, the zip is equal. What I mean is, where your zip starts on one side should be where it starts on the other side. Where it stops should be where it stops. Do you understand? Some things are not so easy to explain, but I believe you people understand. So I just go on to sew my zip on this part as well. So as soon as I'm done, I would go on to trim my thread. Very, very essential to me. I trim my thread, and as you can see, we have, right, our zip is ready. So the next thing I want to do is we just fold into 2 and you close up one side. Yeah, you close up one side. You might want to take a measurement here, but I already know the measurement I'm working with, so that's why. So you just go on to sew all the way down. So if you want to put a pocket, you put your pocket actually at this point before you close up this particular part I'm sewing right now. So you just go on to sew the ends all the way down and you take out your thread, right? Alright, so now we're almost done. So by the time we have coupled this part, I would now drop in my bag itself into this lining. Why I'm doing this is to make sure that the lining and the bag itself are the same width, like they fit into each other perfectly. If not, we're going to have excess by the time we couple it the top all around. So I make sure that the midpoint of the lining is joined to one of the midpoints of the bag. Yeah, And as soon as we realize that, oh, this is perfectly sitting, we'll leave it like that. Then I go on to sew the handle. This is the handle. I just go on to sew the handle of the bag. So I'm done sewing the two hands of the bag and we want to go on to fix it. So now this is how we fix it. We're going to fix it inside. From the inside, it's going to be in between the lining and the bag itself. All right. We want to make sure that the allowances on each side, the allowance I'm taking now, this is 3. It has to be equal on all sides. So I'm taking 3 from one end, which means 3 from one end, right? Then I secure my handle. I just use a glue. You can use an office pin if that's what you have. Secure it. Come over to the other side as well. Measure 3 inch, just so that we have the same spacing on all sides. 3, we'll do it here, and we also replicate it on the other side. Yeah, replicate it on the other side. Secure it. I advise that you secure it on all sides, so that by the time you sew, you just know that you sew all the way round. So that's what I did. Do the same thing here as well. All right, and the next thing you want to do is you just go on to sew on your machine all the way around, and as soon as you get to this part, you are done with the bag. 98%, as a matter of fact. So you just go on to sew all the way around. So as soon as I'm done, we'll just take it out, fold it in, and drop the lining back inside. All right. So we would want to also secure the hand, so that by the time you put something in it and you pull on your shoulder, it's not pulling the lining and everything from inside out. So we'll just go on. Look at what I'm doing. I just lay it down, just stitch on the handle, right? Stitch on it a few times, not so much, so you don't weaken your leather or your material. We'll do the same thing to all 4 sides, and that is secured. All right. So after this, the next thing we want to do is go on to fix our zip head, our zip stopper, and cover up or close up the opening inside of the lining, right? So I was done doing that, and this is our bag. Honestly, this bag feels very soft. So I want to go on to fix our zip head, and I just did that. I'm sure every bag maker should know how to do this. So I just went on to fix my zip head, and when I was done, as you can see, this is more secure, way secure than the ones that we see, the original design, I mean. So we're going to fix our zip stopper. So this is how I fix my zip stopper. Actually, I use a glue. It lasts long until you're the one who wants to remove it. So instead of getting the screw, this actually comes with a screw, but I prefer to use my glue. So I just apply my glue inside of that little opening where a screw was supposed to be, and allow it to just soak it in, and our bag is absolutely ready. So I just going to fix my bag tag, my brand tag rather, and we are done with this bag. Then for the lining, all you need to do is just bring it out, fold it inside neatly, just close it up basically. That's what you do for the lining. So look at what I'm trying to say here. You just fold it inside here and you stitch all the way straight up, and you're done with your bag here. This has to be the most nonchalant voiceover I've ever done, but message passed. Do well to subscribe.